We get copyrighted every week for it.
I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna like assume the best anymore. 2024 in, not assuming the best.
Really?
Assume the worst.
You thought
You mean
Ryan
out
I thought Ryan
assuming
made
the
that
best?
shit.
It's pretty probable because Ryan makes good little.
And that's what I'm saying.
singers.
I'm like, damn, Ryan, that one's great. Didn't make it.
Didn't do it.
Fake.
Can you believe it or not? You've had this reaction at least once already on this podcast.
Yeah,
You're like,
we
I
have,
thought you made that.
Believe it or not, had this conversation before. Maybe it was the first week.
Maybe, I don't know. Make your own stuff now.
Okay, Andy's coming in hot.
Wow.
Welcome back to What the Podcast. Right?
You usually say something.
I know. I was
like
just
that.
hoping that would elicit some sort of
I
response.
was just waiting for the normal
yeah, yeah.
part.
I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
And together we are
Ryan and John.
on the couch as always, Cara Tafolla and the lovely Andy the Skovmand.
Thank you for not changing that.
Yeah,
I know
well,
that I
that's
kind
your
of came
name.
in really hot.
You could have
but,
gotten
like,
anywhere with that. You could have been like
and I
the
just wanna
spicy,
say-
That's
I want to
what
say
you're
right
called.
now, before I get into just like my feral energy that I have
Okay,
today.
yeah.
Okay.
You trimmed up your beard.
Okay.
And you shaped it. It looks great.
Thank you for saying that, Andy.
It's like a clean line. You're
I
trying
really
to-
appreciate you.
I love this energy because everyone came in a little tense
yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I don't
really?
know
what-
You guys came in tense.
It was it wasn't. Well,
No.
John
It was a
for
chain-
sure
I came
did.
in an RV.
The people.
It was a chain reaction, just for the record. Okay.
Kara got the
Because listen,
joke. That was
this is what happened,
hilarious.
and I'll explain the order of events here.
Here's if I can just back up just a little bit.
Go ahead.
What happened is I was reviewing videos of myself on the podcast last week, and my mustache was doing things that my mustache does
Yeah.
when it gets long, and I'm just.
Is that why you trimmed it?
That's why I trimmed it.
Oh,
Literally.
you thought it looked ugly?
No,
No, it gets super thick right here.
it gets
and then
really
thin.
thick
Oh,
right in the middle,
Hitlery.
and it looks a little Hitlery.
Little
Oh.
bit. Tiny bit.
And it.
I didn't even
And
catch
it
But you
just-
have like the curl,
I'm
so
just
it's
very
like,
conscious of it. So when
Oh,
I see it,
you're
I'm like,
conscious.
hey, it's time
Do you
for
think
trim.
that-
Did you trim this yourself?
It's on me, baby.
Very impressive.
A
Very
3 on the beard, a 5 on the
A
mustache.
little long
I
on the
have a
mustache.
prediction that mustache is going to come back into style at some point.
Hitler?
You're talking about
The
the
Hitler
Hitler mustache?
mustache.
Oh, God.
I think we're going to go like a deep, like we're going to reclaim it and like
Who's
No.
we,
erase-
by the way?
Well, no, like the hipsters would do it. The hipsters
No,
would
the
go
hipster
hardcore on it.
stash
God.
is like a
now,
line.
right now,
Adolf
right
hipster?
now,
It's not going to get shorter
Adolf
than that.
hipsters are going to come in.
We've
Oh,
gone
boy.
3 minutes into this podcast.
Let me just say, by the way, nobody has said the word hipster for like 15
Hipster
years.
Hitler.
By the way,
Okay, oh,
hipster's way out.
sorry,
That's a
I'm-
millennial thing.
Well, what you're going to tell me next that like High School Musical's old or some shit? Like, come on.
Oh, you know what? I hate when I give you guys the prompts because you just try to throttle right into the
Yeah.
prompts.
Well,
Oh,
I think
really?
that was
Throttle.
appropriate.
Yeah.
Guys, on January 20th, High School Musical, the original, is turning 18 years old.
Owie. That is an ouchie.
So
Wow,
it
that-
can vote.
that's a lot.
The movie can vote. The movie is going to graduate high school.
It can get drafted.
The High School Musical is going to war.
That should be
Wow.
the
So
next
what
one.
year did it come out?
It came out 18 years ago, so we're in the year of our Lord 2024.
That's
I remember sitting and
crazy.
watching
Yeah,
it.
and I seriously must have been
2006.
9.
That'll be
2006.
2006.
Okay, I think about how quickly they pumped out those movies because I remember seeing the last movie.
The last one came out in 2008.
I think it was
Yeah, like-
2006, 2007, 2008.
Yeah, they pumped those out so fast.
No, I think the third one came out when I was in 8th grade, so that would have been 2009,
Look it up. Look it up.
2010.
That is crazy though, because that means I was 9 years old when it came out,
Yeah.
and I feel like I was older. Like I don't feel like I could have conscious memories at 9. I know that I can, obviously.
I
but
just had this conversation with someone the other day about High
this
School
is so
Musical.
classic. My wife, I love it.
High School Musical 3.
Come blasting through the garage.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, blasting through.
Uh-huh.
High School Musical 3. And they said, they're like, oh, you didn't go. Because me and my roommate were like, yeah, we didn't see it. And we're like, we feel like we were too old for that. And they were like, it really, like, you weren't.
I missed school to see it.
I totally agree with what you
Wow.
guys are saying. Yeah. No,
Yep.
we're just going to ignore
Yep.
it. We're gonna
No, just
pretend
keep
like it's not
going. Just keep
happening.
going.
Totally get what you're saying because some of like my most core memories, like, oh, hey, Joe.
Hey, there she is. Okay. Yeah, it's all right. No, it's okay. You close the garage.
We're actually sharing the studio space with the lovely
J-
Albright
just-
family.
All right, take this
No,
guy
it's
too.
this.
Oh,
we share the studio
Artie.
space with Jordan Rose Photo.
Yeah, that's right.
And
true.
she
That's right.
she takes
That's
photos
her full
here.
name. That's
No,
her full name.
don't.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah, she's.
All right, all right.
This is a
Honey,
good
you
bit.
stopped the podcast far enough. Go.
I have really core memories of watching all three of those movies, I should
Yeah.
say. But specifically the first and the second one, like, I literally woke up to like, oh, maybe I don't have to be a sporty guy.
Oh,
I literally was like,
gosh.
wow, theater is cool. I literally remember that.
This is gonna sound
what built
crazy.
you, the
Go
movie
ahead,
that
John.
built you.
And I think I've said this before on this podcast, but I remember like the feeling I had, like, and there were times after that where like a Disney original movie would come out,
Just didn't hit the same.
and but I like
I've
some
had
of
a
them-
couple. I've had a couple that have hit the same. as High
Yes,
School
and
Musical.
it was like the same like feeling, like you were
Yeah. If it's
excited.
If it's anything
it was
other than
anticipation.
Camp Rock, you're
That's-
crazy.
Oh,
That
Camp
one
Rock
was
hit
Wow.
so good.
hard. when
Camp
it
Rock
came out.
1.
Camp Rock 2, bad.
Oh yeah,
Bad.
it's bad. It's bad. You know
Yeah.
what? Lemonade Mouth, another.
Oh,
That one
was a
hit.
great one.
I
Yes!
missed it. I missed it.
Yes!
To be
That
completely
one-
honest.
We watched that.
You know what
That
I
one
didn't
was-
miss?
We're watching it tonight.
We already
You know what
watched it.
What they pushed
Oh, you watched it without
alongside
me?
High School Musical 2. Did we watch Lemonade Mouth?
We did.
At my old apartment. Yes, I
did.
remember the
I
one.
put
It
it
was like
on.
one of the first times we were at my old apartment.
Oh, I forgot.
Somebody.
They pushed this movie out the same time as High School Musical 2. Jump In. Oh, do you remember when Jump
'Cause
In
of
came
Corbin
out?
Blue.
He
Yep.
was. It was kind of the same
Double
as High School
Dutch.
Musical, but he was like,
Oh
I
my
don't want to be
gosh.
a whatever he was.
Jump roper.
I want to be a jump roper, and his dad was like, "You got to not be a jump roper."
That movie
You
hit
gotta-
hard.
It was
too.
the same energy.
It was the same energy.
It's like, you know, Disney up in the ivory tower, like, okay,
Yeah.
let's pitch the same idea with just
Yes,
a different
yes.
actor
Jump
and a
it.
different.
And I
sport.
know that's true because a few years before they made Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before High School
That
Musical,
was- and
and
that
that
was
was like,
the
Dad, I don't want to
exact
be a
same
baseball
thing.
player.
Yep.
I want to bake.
cook.
I want to cook.
I want to cook.
So crazy.
And then they were like, okay, almost. We need to just muster up some
Yeah.
more energy. Boom. High School Musical.
What about Look at the Irish? Same thing. Mom,
Love
I don't
the
want to be a
Irish.
basketball player.
I
I
want to
want
be a leprechaun?
leprechaun.
That's not how the
13th
movie
year,
goes.
Mom.
Mom, I
don't
don't want to
wanna
be a boy.
basketball
I want to
player.
be a mermaid.
That's not how that movie goes either.
In that Smart House.
There were a lot
Mom,
of-
I don't want to be
Smart
a
House
smart
was
house. I want to be a
crazy.
mom.
No, that was like a vein of Disney Channel
That
original.
was
That
a
was
cr-
like puberty, like long metaphor for puberty. Was like, what are you?
She's taking a
trying to
B-roll.
do?
I'd be real.
Oh, I was
Heard.
like, what are you trying
I
to
thought
really,
you were trying to
really
show
late.
the camera and you fully missed
Smart
it.
House, definitely the peak of the Disney Channel originals.
Totally.
I
no
watched
shot.
it say,
The peak?
No.
the peak. It is
No.
the
Movie's
best
terrible.
Disney Channel
No.
original movie.
It is really
Of all
good though.
time.
It is really good. And I had
Um,
existential dread thinking my smart house was going to take
And
over.
every day,
Oh, really?
we
Yeah.
inch closer and closer to that reality.
See, I felt like it was exciting. I thought like, oh, someday, you know, maybe
There was
going to
be like some
like this.
magic.
Oh
mom.
yeah,
I didn't take-
someday
I
a
didn't
house
take
will
the
be like
negative
that
side
and
at
have it
all.
lock you in and turn
She turned into a
against you.
tornado in the living room,
She
bro.
tried to
Yeah.
become
So
their
crazy.
mom after their mom died.
But I
Devastating.
We talked about this in Halloween, but my mom's on a date with a vampire.
Oh.
It took
Love.
me right back to when I was watching it in the living room at my
Dang.
parents' house, like right back.
So that's the little actor from. What's
now
it
they're
Go
called?
ahead.
The one
18
with the
years
mouse.
older.
You're talking about Stuart Little,
Stuart
and you're
Little.
actually talking about the little vampire.
the little vampire.
Yes, I always get those
You
mixed
know
up.
that you guys have been together forever when you
No.
can literally
Well,
get in her
because-
mind to be like, you're not talking about this. You're
Because
talking about
when-
this,
Talking
and then
about
you're
this.
talking about
when Cooper
this.
started,
Donald Trump's on the
when
podcast
Cooper got
today.
his
You're
teeth,
not talking
Yitch.
about this.
when Cooper got his teeth in, he looked like that little boy. And I
talking
kept
about Stuart
saying,
Little?
I kept saying my mom's on a date with a vampire, and
He
then I was
looked
like,
like a
no, it was
mouse.
a little vampire. Because Cooper, when his teeth came in, he'd be like,
Oh,
Do you know in the
He looks
Stuart
like
Little book, he's not a mouse, he's just a little guy.
he's a little guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just a man, like a
I wa-
man,
I
but he's
would-
little.
I literally would have given anything in the world to be on the pitching committee when they pitched the idea of instead of just a small kid, a mouse.
They're like, yeah,
like,
he's.
"Get
Can we
this."
just make him a mouse?
A mouse.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think a lot of it was like we tested the little person in a bunch of audiences.
Jarring.
Did not do
A lot of
that.
kids were freaked out. A lot of kids were really freaked
And
out.
then there
Actually,
was,
don't like that idea.
there was like a whole group of people who are like actually offended by it. And so we're gonna pivot to.
But we
a
have another
mouse.
movie idea called Downsizing.
Okay, go on.
That was that movie that is that what it's called?
You're talking about Matt Damon.
Okay,
it's downsizing,
okay.
right?
Where did you get the fact that he was a little human? Because that's not true.
Totally true.
No. What is Stuart Little book about?
Kara.
Born to
Kara.
a family of humans, he lives in
Yeah.
New York with his parents, his older brother George, and Snowball the cat. Though he's shy, thoughtful, he's a true lover of nature. Stuart's greatest adventure comes with his best friend, a beautiful little bird named Margalo.
Yes.
And in the illustration, he's a
No.
little mouse.
No.
Yes.
They never say that he's a mouse.
In the illustration,
just
the
Stuart
cover of the
Little.
book.
This
No.
is a PSA that this is a historical fiction podcast. Everything you hear
That
is based on true events.
Is a little mouse.
but
Kara,
names
I
and
don't
characters
doubt that
have
that's
been
a
changed
picture
for
of a
their own
mouse.
safety.
What I'm saying is they
Bum, bum,
never
dun, dun,
explicitly
dun,
say that he's a
dun,
mouse.
dun,
He's a little guy.
No.
Oh.
No.
So it's a little misleading.
He's a mouse.
A little bit misleading. Speaking of misleading, transition.
Annie, I'll literally kill you.
What's
Name,
misleading?
name that tune.
No,
Name that
I
tune.
don't want to name the
Okay,
tune.
ready?
But you
Close your
just
eyes, close your eyes.
blaring
Was that
a tune into
was
the
that
microphone?
the Goosebumps sound?
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh, it's SUV.
dun.
It's SUV. Bum, bum.
SVU.
Whatever.
SVU.
What did I say?
Because you guys were like getting down to the bottom of it and you were discovering it. It was like you were.
You've been talking a lot about SVU lately.
I watch a lot of SVU every single day.
That's
We
probably
know.
good
At
for your
least
mental
5
health.
episodes.
How is that affecting you, like personally?
Oh, I fully believe I could catch a rapist.
Okay, you don't have a fear that like, oh, you're gonna get like
Got
kidnapped
by a rapist?
Yeah, getting
Not
got.
anymore.
To Catch a Predator. What was that guy? The guy that hosted To Catch
You're
a
talking
Predator?
about Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen.
That-
We have Chris Hansen here.
Have a seat, Andy.
Chris-
You know what's
Christina
crazy?
Hansen,
Christina
of course.
Hansen at your service. No, I fully think in another lifetime would have been a cop. Would have caught them all.
Okay.
And I think that I was destined to be a cop. And let me tell you why. I started off real young. Blue's Clues.
okay.
And then I went to Scooby-Doo, right? Blue's Clues,
Zoinks.
Scooby-Doo. And then I went to Psych
Minds?
and Monk. Then I went to Criminal Minds. I went to NCIS. And then I went to SVU. Bum, bum, ba-na-na-na-na.
Okay, all right.
Dun, 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 dun. Doodle.
That's
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
Thank you.
Okay.
What characters on Scooby Doo would we be?
Velma.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, we have.
We have, whatever. I don't know. It probably wasn't good.
Have we talked about this?
Yeah. You're Shaggy.
Okay.
John is Freddy.
Okay.
I'm
Does that make you Daphne?
no.
I see you more of as Daphne.
Then you see yourself as Velma?
Yeah, heck yeah.
No, you're Velma.
I
for
was
sure.
kind of
Annie's
feeling like I
Velma.
was.
Annie's Velma.
You're saying because you're the
Scooby.
smart one,
I was gonna say I was.
and Kara's the hot one,
because I'm the goofiest.
and John's the
most
one that wants to
lovable.
split up and look for clues, and I'm the one that eats a
John's
lot.
John
And then Artie is Scooby Doo.
and Artie Scooby Doo.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, that's
yeah.
kinda sweet.
I was
Not
thinking maybe
anymore.
like Artie was Daphne and I was Scooby Doo, but you know what? Like
That's
that could
not-
work. He could be a dog.
Okay.
If we're gonna
So good.
like conform to gender roles like that, fine.
Thank you.
There's been a lot in the news. First mystery we need to solve, gang.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Zoinks.
Zoinks.
We have a mystery to
Ruh-roh.
solve. What the heck happened on that Alaska airplane?
Dang, you guys, John.
Crazy.
You're not gonna believe this.
I haven't heard about it.
Let me look.
Oh,
I want to
gosh.
get the facts straight where it was
No,
leaving.
it's a
Do you know where it was
historical
leaving?
Fiction. No, I don't
Portland.
care. I don't care where it was
It was an
leaving. I don't
Alaska
care where it was
Airlines
going.
flight
Portland.
leaving Portland, and during takeoff at
20
about
minutes in.
15,000 feet,
Awesome.
the emergency exit door rips off. The window rips off, and then the whole
Crazy.
door rips off, and just lands in somebody's backyard or something.
Yeah.
Fully
Yeah, you do not get a
depressurizes the
lot.
cabin. They have to re-land back at PDX.
Wow. So what do you think it was
Crazy.
like inside the plane when it happened?
Oh yeah, probably like all the oxygen masks fall, which
Yeah.
I've never been on a plane where all the oxygen masks fell, and I'm not trying to say that like I want to be in a plane crash or anything. I just think it'd be cool to see it all happen.
I kind of get what you're saying. Like,
Like I just,
we keep
I'm not
talking
saying I
about
would-
like, oh, put the oxygen mask on. It's a thing that we're all
I-
trained to do.
I've
but
been trained to do it
most
for
of us
so
will never do it.
long, and I never have gotten to do it.
This is why we train, because when you do need it,
I watched
you'll be
this
ready.
really stupid girl on TikTok that was like,
Don't
so
talk about my TikTok account like that.
period. Anyways,
So
no, this girl. So this happened at the back exit door of the plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this girl was sitting at the front of the plane, and she was like, yeah. Suddenly there was like this big banging noise, and then the oxygen mask came down, and that's when I realized something was wrong. I'm like, yeah, that's like
Yeah.
the number one thing that happens when something's wrong on a plane. But apparently, this is also true that 2 days after this incident happened, a bunch of stuff obviously gets starts flying out of the plane. Apparently, a shirt got ripped off of a child.
Off
That's
of a baby.
so crazy.
Literally, like, off the baby.
Like, vacuum. Everybody's fine, by the way.
Thank God the baby didn't get vacuumed out.
They found an iPhone completely intact that flew out of the plane in somebody's backyard in Oregon.
What case did it have on?
I don't know what case he had on. The charger
Caseify.
was still plugged in, but the cord was ripped. So it got ripped
So
and
crazy.
fell 16,000 feet, landed perfectly fine. It was open to, this is why they know it was from the flight, because it was open to an email from Alaska Airlines, and it had the dude's name, like, right there. Like, he was using his phone, and then, whoa, like, it flew out the window.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
That's pretty
Okay,
cool.
they're going to work that into an iPhone commercial, probably.
1,000%. And he's going to get free iPhones for life. Like that
And
Stanley
probably
Cup.
free flights for
Stanley
life,
Cup
too.
car accident girl. She's like, my car caught on fire, and look at my Stanley still got ice in it.
I mean, what are you entitled to if that happens on your flight? Like,
You probably get free
Emotional
miles.
emotional damage, yeah. You best believe. I know that like my biggest fear in this country is getting sued because people love suing. But the moment I have a chance to sue someone
You're
big
gonna
like
do it.
that for emotional distress,
A big
and
company.
Alaska
Sure.
Airlines can take it. Like,
Yeah, a
they're
big
ready
company.
for it.
Sure, you should, right?
They probably have a bank
give me-
account for.
give me a reason to go on that stand and shed some tears.
Okay.
I'll trauma dump to a judge and a jury, and I'll get that emotional distress money.
What do you think is a reasonable amount?
You know,
What
you
if
know
they-
what I
My
can't
emotional
wait?
distress.
They go, here's $10,000.
I'm gonna say they're
No.
not gonna pay any
Hold
more
on.
money.
You know what I can't wait is someday when you're in this said trial for emotional damage and they play this clip from the episode.
You're like, I can't wait.
They're
I
like,
perjured
you've been planning
myself."
for this, right?
the defense is
Oh my
like,
gosh,
we
they're
like to
gonna
play
throw
a
out my
clip
testimony.
from an
Your
episode.
Honor, we've scrubbed the Witnesses podcast.
I will say this podcast does make me an unreliable witness in all accounts.
That's true.
So,
There's an
dear
episode
God,
for
please do not need me
everything.
as a character witness for you guys.
I was saying about the flight
Go ahead.
that there's been like a conspiracy theory because nobody was sat in the seat next to the door.
Ooh.
So
There's
they
no
they
one sat
thought
there.
something
And
was wrong.
So what is
every
there-
flight that I've ever
What
been
would have
on,
happened?
there's always someone at the exit.
Oh, I've
door.
had somewhere.
What would have happened to that person though? I wonder.
They
Would
probably would have flown out
really.
if they didn't have their seatbelt on, which you were supposed to at that time because they were still going up. But
Awesome.
they would
How
have probably
cool
would have gotten
that be?
sucked out.
If they got out of the plane.
I wonder how it was
No.
for the people like right next to that. Like that
Yeah.
must have been
Terrifying.
a living nightmare. Like,
yeah.
the
Well, there's
one
the TikTok
thing,
video of the person who's literally like in the row adjacent and a little bit diagonal.
that is like the one thing you don't want to happen while you're taking
A
off.
door
You're
being
like-
open.
You're like, yeah,
Crazy.
that's crazy.
hate
I don't
planes.
have a fear of flying.
Okay.
I do.
Me
Oh,
neither.
you do?
I hate it.
Where do you
Kara
think
does.
it comes from?
You do an awful lot of flying for somebody who has a fear of flying.
Probably.
But she's not gonna let her fears hold her back. She's not
I
gonna be
guess that's
grounded
true.
by
She's
them.
brave.
Okay.
She's brave.
She's so
It probably comes from honestly
So what's
me
the
getting
fear
like
surrounding
car
it?
sick and like airplane sick, like going up, and then I also don't like. I
It's
don't like the
G's,
feeling.
right? Like the
Yeah.
the stomach dropping
Yeah.
feeling.
So
I
is it
don't
just
like
going
it.
up? Like once you're up, you're fine.
It's
and coming
going
down?
up and landing.
Do you
Yeah.
like roller coasters?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. Okay, there goes that. Makes no sense.
Yeah, that actually doesn't make sense at all.
No sense at all.
Because if you like roller coasters, it's kind of the same feeling, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I might fly out of this. Ah.
But you're
Love.
on a track. At least you're on something where an airplane is
so
literally
it's
just in the air.
mental, I guess. Yeah.
That's true.
I mean,
guess.
now it's kind of, you can't be like, well, the door's not going to fly off because apparently it can just fly off.
Well,
They'll get to the bottom of it, I'm sure.
Defective door, you think?
that's like, have
Effective,
you seen
yeah.
that video of the person from the plane and they're taking off and they're like recording one of the wheels falling off of
Yes.
the like plane as they're
Yes.
taking off and they're like,
Uh-oh. Landing's
do I
going to be
tell
fun.
someone?
Oh my God.
It's like, yeah, how do
I
they
tell?
land that?
I'm sure
gosh.
there's.
I
They have backup.
love going on airplanes.
I do too.
I love it.
Love turbulence.
Give me a pod and I'll be fine.
Not turbulence.
Give me
Turbulence.
first class
I love
pod.
turbulence.
Yeah, I could go for a
Gosh.
pod.
I want
for
a first
sure.
class
What the-
pod.
A pod?
You think you
You
ever
know,
fly
like-
first class? Have you
The
flown
bed.
first class yet?
Flying.
We actually got sat. It wasn't first class. It was like from
Bougie?
an island to an island. We had a layover,
We were on a puddle jumper.
and then we went over. So it was a little plane, but we got sat in the front row.
Yeah, but Alaska doesn't
Was it first
do.
class?
You're at the front of the plane. That's not first class. It's just kind of like you're there.
Yeah, it was kind of
think
just we were there,
you'll
but it was
ever-
cool.
You think you'll ever fly first class?
I
I'd
want
love
to.
to.
I really
Yeah.
hope so.
It's a bucket list item for me.
Bougie.
Jordan, when Jordan was flying to Italy for her studying abroad like 3 weeks as you did, her uncle like travels a lot for work and racks up miles like on a he uses a company card to reimburse himself.
Of
but
course.
he gets the points obviously.
Awesome.
And they and he upgraded her in like last second to first class both ways to Italy, which I feel like if you're gonna do like a 10 or 15-hour flight,
yeah.
like, you gotta do it
Absolutely.
first
Okay,
class.
so get this. Connor is on another work trip,
Kara's brother.
Africa. Little island
he going to
off of
Africa
Africa.
for? Oh my
He
God.
goes for conferences.
What does
His
Connor-
business sends it to him.
Pause.
Don't
What
ask
does Connor
questions.
do?
No, I can't answer that question.
He-
Not on the record.
He like
Hey, Kara,
he
well,
helps startup businesses.
That's fake.
So he
That's
goes
fake.
to his company sends
not
him
what he's
to all
doing
these
right
places.
now.
It's a conference, yes.
I won't be answering.
Slave trade.
All I know is
He's meeting a client. So
Oh, in Africa.
what's
so
the
what happened?
what's
he,
the Swiss what's the island that they do offshore accounts?
Caymans?
It's like
The
the
Cayman
Caymans of
yeah,
East
he said,
Asia.
he said
Apparently,
he's
is
literally
where
going
he's
like
flying
to the Maldives. But he was supposed to go to
Maldives.
Dallas. His flight got diverted because of high winds, had to circle, ran out of gas. He was stuck in Oklahoma for like 7 hours.
Brutal.
And then finally today, he got on his plane. It ended up being delayed 24 hours, his Africa
Spending
flight.
Oklahoma.
So then his boss,
24
he
hours
has
in
first
Oklahoma.
class on the way back.
Awesome.
That
Pause.
his,
From
his-
this?
from this company. But then he called his boss, and his boss said, "Well, you can upgrade yourself just as long as it's under $3,000." So he is in a freaking pod right now, going to
Damn.
Africa.
Cool.
That's cool.
It's a 14-hour flight.
Good for him.
Yeah, I
That is insane.
I recently did a 16-hour
You did the
flight?
long one, but you were in normal or
I was in one of the flights we did. Our longest flight we upgraded to like premium business class or whatever.
Nice.
So it was the row right behind first class,
That's nice.
and so we had a extra leg room. But my chair didn't have the like it was like little walls, so there was no room. So I couldn't put up like the
That
seat
sucks.
rest or anything, and my hips
You
by
were
the
stuck.
end were in so much pain
God.
because it was like
Terrible.
Yeah.
like squeeze. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awful.
Do you think we ever, if we ever have to travel for this show, Albright Entertainment will
Yeah. We'll go
bump
for
us
it.
up first class?
Oh,
I think
We
if we
start
ever
making
have to
enough money
travel for this show,
travel, yes.
Awesome.
where are we going?
I think we should travel. I think one of our goals should be to go like get invited to like award shows. Because I saw some of those people who were at the Golden Globes and I was
Same.
unimpressed. I was like, why are you there?
Yep.
Give us
David
an
Dobrik
example.
went to the Golden Globes and he
He's
did not deserve to
gigantic.
go.
The girl on TikTok, Anna
Whatever the heck,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Brew is kind of the reason they go to those things, I feel like.
Oh,
Brew.
she's
Yeah.
dating him.
Brew is like
Yeah.
kind of the big
Yes.
award show
But then
TikTok
there's, like,
guy.
The TikTok guy that does interviews with kids.
Brew on the radio?
The corn kid, like that. Kid,
Yeah, like
guy?
that guy. He was on the Golden Globes. He was doing
Oh,
interview. He
man,
brought two
forget
kids to
it.
the.
How
He
weird.
literally brought two kids to the red carpet and they like.
Yeah,
talked
but
to
it's always
people.
like Variety sends
Yeah.
these people. It's not like, from their own merit.
I
It's
know,
like-
but I'm saying like we could easily be sent by People Magazine or whatever,
Sure.
or like Teen 10 Magazine or In Touch.
Teen
Yeah,
10,
Teen
yeah.
10
Like, we're not
probably.
gonna, like let's be real,
Magazine.
Variety and
Teen
Vogue aren't
10.
going to send us, but we
that's
might
not
get
true.
In Touch to send us to the Golden Globes.
Okay.
I'm glad we didn't go this year though, because this year.
Oh
was
my
rough.
gosh, this year was so
Golden Globes
cringy.
rough. Joe Coy was the host for the Golden
Yeah,
Globes.
get him out of here.
Well,
He said that he was invited to speak 10 days prior, so like sounds like something happened.
Okay, you know what? And that's kind of my gripe is I don't like his jokes were hacky, but he also threw his writers like under the bus
Yes.
immediately. Nobody was laughing, and he's like, I only had 10 days to write these jokes. Like the jokes you guys are laughing at are mine. Haha. It's like, bro,
yeah, that was tacky.
late night writers do monologues every day. You're telling me you couldn't muster up something funny in 10 days? You had plenty of time.
I feel like it was probably the opposite because I can't imagine that writers like that would bomb jokes so much. But everyone's calling for Ricky Gervais to come back.
I loved Ricky Gervais.
He did it, and I was reading. He did it in 2011, 2012, 2014, and 2016 and 2020, like 5 times.
Dang.
Well, my
And
favorite is the
his
20
last time he was like full bore. He's like, I'm not holding back. This is my last time. I will not be coming back. And that was like
Yeah.
one of the best opening monologues
I remember that one.
I've ever seen.
That one is when he pulled out that Epstein joke.
Yes.
Where he said something about like Epstein was murdered, he wasn't killed, and everyone was like, "Oh," and he goes, "I get that he's your guys' friend. I don't even care."
Crazy.
It's
So
just
good.
okay. If you didn't see the Golden Globes,
Give it
here's
to
are
us.
a couple of the jokes that he made. Number one, he said that we're following the doubleheader of football today, but you know what the difference between us is? We don't have as many camera shots of Taylor Swift. And then they cut to Taylor Swift, and she was not happy about that.
Which is like funny.
Yeah,
It's funny.
But
That
then
is-
it's
and
like,
true.
okay,
Haha,
that's the
right.
reason why she wrote "The Man" and like all these certain songs. And it's
I
like,
think
okay.
that in itself isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I think
I think just not as funny as
another
like,
joke
not as
is
funny.
he says Oppenheimer is based on a 700-page dissertation, whatever it was, and Barbie was based on a plastic doll with boobies.
yeah.
that one was rough. That was like, that
Like
was
I mean,
so-
obviously he like is
Didn't
not
watch the
didn't see the
movie.
movie and
Yeah.
like you're really gonna reduce that movie down to like a boob joke.
Literally insane.
I-
Like, really? We're past that.
Yeah, aren't we? I don't know. I guess we're not. I mean,
Well, there's
whatever.
a reason why he's being canceled.
I
He's
think
not
his.
good. He's
I think
I've
it was
seen some
all
of
in the
his
delivery
specials.
because a funnier comedian could have
pulled that off.
pulled that off,
well, and
or even like a better joke. I don't know.
because you could have like, I look at like those late night monologues, and often they'll throw in those like misogynistic jokes, and then
Totally.
it will be cut with like, I'm kidding. I know it was about woman empowerment.
Yeah.
I'm all about empowering women. I actually think men, are the worst, and I
Yeah.
think we should kill them. Like
Yeah.
they usually like
Thank you.
like rebuild it.
Yes.
Even like they'll do misogyny and then rebuild.
I saw a bunch of
yeah, it was
people on
rough.
TikTok saying like, okay, here's like that joke, but better. Like,
Oh,
here I
they
could
just
have
worded it way better.
I could have written better jokes for this. It was like Barbie and Oppenheimer, like a movie about existential dread and finding your place in the universe, and the other one's Oppenheimer.
Yeah, like so good.
Yeah.
Or it was like both movies about what happens when shit goes down when you leave men by themselves for more than 5 minutes.
Amen.
Like,
Yeah.
just hilarious.
yeah.
Like,
So Joe Coy sucks.
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you mad at him because of the Taylor Swift thing mostly, or do you think?
I mean,
I'm
that's
more
definitely
mad at him
part
for
of
the
it.
Barbie joke.
That's definitely part of it, though.
Yeah. I think
Well,
you're right about the delivery thing though, because I feel like
saying
he
it.
undercut himself by making all the jokes. Like between every joke he did like that. Some of these are mine, some of these aren't. And
Yeah.
or like where it was bad, he was like, "That's not one of mine." It's like that undercut the whole
Yeah.
thing.
That
Yeah.
doesn't make
You
us
know?
go like, oh, well, go easy on
Also,
him.
bro,
He only had 10.
you still decided to say it.
Yeah.
You could have skipped it.
I think a lot of the jokes would have landed had he not gone with the like, I only got 10 days. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, seriously?
I think it's more like you're a hack, bro.
Yes.
Like you
Yes.
got this job by the skin of your teeth, and now you're like,
Yeah.
you bombed. And so
Well,
just take the L.
I
I've
feel
watched
like
him too,
beyond
and
that, some of the presenters were awful too.
I
I felt
Who
like
about?
Jennifer Coolidge hers was just really
yeah, she
awkward,
presented.
and it was super
Kevin
long. and it was
Costner.
like-
Oh my gosh! I
Oh,
was
that was
like,
pretty
are
funny,
you
though.
That was
like
funny.
on like drugs or high or something?
I think
He's an old muff.
also what's not helping the Golden Globes is like I think people are kind of over award shows. I think
I had
award shows are
no
losing
clue
their
it was
shine.
happening.
I didn't either, honestly. I think
You know
okay,
what's coming up? The Grammys.
You know what was this weekend also? The Emmys. The Emmys were the
What?
same night as the Golden Globes.
Really?
No,
What?
I think it was like
People were posting.
daytime Emmys or something.
Oh.
Got awards.
Oh well,
It was
who
like a
cares?
smaller one.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
But did you guys see
Go ahead.
the little gossip video at the
okay.
Golden Globes? There's a video
There were a couple
of
moments.
Selena Gomez saying hello to Taylor Swift.
Okay.
And then Selena Gomez is whispering something in Taylor Swift's ear, and Taylor Swift pulls back, and then Taylor Swift's friend, who's sitting next to her, also leans in to pitch in.
Okay.
And TikTok went to work because people then posted different camera angles, and we have
I
figured
love it
out
because they
what
read
she
lips.
said.
They like read the lips of what they're
Selena
saying.
Gomez.
Did that to what's her name in Timothy Chalamet?
Yes,
That's
Selena
what she's talking
Gomez
about.
says
Oh, that's
hello
so good.
to Taylor Swift,
I'm talking
and
about-
then says
Chalamet and
Yeah.
Kardashian.
Selena says to Taylor, I asked to take a picture with him, and she said no. And then Taylor Swift pulls back, and then the other girl chimes in and goes, Timothy? And then it cuts to Timothy and Kylie Jenner being like
like a
lovey-dovey, and someone else got their lip reading, and it's him saying like, oh, I was talking about something else. And she's like, well, I was talking about something else. And then he changes the subject saying, I love you. And she goes, I love you too. And they have an awkward kiss. And then during like them talking about Timothy, I guess on the award show they did. And she's like, they go to her and she's like very awkward. Like, I'm still pissed about this.
God,
See,
could
I
care
saw a
less
lip reading
about
of
that.
them, and it was like him being like, I smell like peaches.
Yeah,
And I was like,
Those
"Look
are my
like a
favorite
zebra.
ones.
I think that I smell good.
Those are my
You
favorite
smell
ones.
good.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's like,
But
it's like
the big
just
thing
like bad lip reading.
is, I guess Timothy and Selena were really, really close in the last couple years. And then now that Kylie is in the mix.
I also found tea from the Golden Globes.
Oh, great.
And it was Ali Wong,
Uh-oh.
and she's dating Bill Hader.
Yes. She kissed him.
She
She
kisses
won.
him.
She
She won.
won.
In her speech, she thanks her
Oh, yeah.
ex-husband and calls her
Yep.
ex-husband her best friend. And then it cuts right out. Doesn't say anything about Bill Hader.
Yep.
Cuts automatically to Bill Hader. And the guy like who's sitting on the other side of Ali Wong like looks at him and is like, and Bill Hader goes,
It could be
like,
new.
Like,
I
I
don't
don't know.
Like maybe they
fully,
just
like-
started dating. It's like, why would you
No,
thank
they started
him?
dating in like last November or something. Like
Yeah, they just got
and
in
this
public.
is and
There
they
was speculation.
like I guess they dated prior, and this is like they were rekindled.
So
I mean,
weird.
honestly, though, I mean, it's not like if they haven't been together for like a long time, it is
Like,
kind
thank
of
the
weird to
father
think-
of your
I'll
children,
say
I
the
guess.
father
That
of her,
works.
and what she said about him was very kind. Where
Yes.
she basically was like, because of you and how we co-parent, I'm able to be a working mom, and like I'm forever
Yeah,
grateful.
I mean,
it
that-
was
that's
very
that was
sweet.
kind of a
good.
lot of the themes behind
Like, what would you
um,
think Bill Hader
show,
for?
too.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
And thanks, Bill Hader,
And Bill,
for
thanks
the good
Bill
shag.
Hader. Well, yeah, like
Yeah.
Gypsy
for the
Rose
bomb
did.
tea.
Gypsy
Oh,
Rose,
no.
she's like, and the D is rocking every
Not
night.
the rockin'
Oh,
D.
Gypsy.
Well,
Gypsy Rose being
God
freaking.
damn.
Gypsy Rose.
Iconic.
I think you're right. You predicted that she'd go back to jail, and I think she will.
I think she will.
I think we
she
should
will.
send her to jail.
I
frankly.
think we're gonna
She's
see
about
like
done.
The best is I
She's
sent you
gonna go
a clip of another podcast talking about it. And they're like, we often forget that she killed her mom, like literally.
No, she didn't kill her.
I forgive, but I never forget.
Well, I think the best take of the whole situation was Michael Che kind of went off on Instagram last night after the,
Oh,
or
and he
2 nights
said,
ago after Golden
"Not
Globes.
fun-
If you don't know
me.
who he is the SNL Weekend Updates.
Yes, not Colin Jost.
Not
did
Colin
he have to
Jost.
say?
He's the
black
other
man.
one.
He posted 8 pictures of just text, black with white text. He says, I'll read them all to you. Comedians should boycott hosting award shows. For one, it's very difficult to make movie stars laugh. They're way too self-conscious to have a good time. 2, they don't even want to laugh. They're too busy thinking about their careers and their speeches and their cause, in quotations. They think they want to be made fun of, but they actually don't. They're actually just want their trophy and a nice photo. Imagine right before Game 7 of the NBA Finals, you had to go in the locker room and make LeBron laugh. Also, Hollywood doesn't respect comedians. If they did, Eddie Murphy and Jim Carrey would have had 3 Oscars each, and for their comedy movies, not the dramas they had to do so they could be taken seriously. So they expect us to host the Oscars but won't even nominate us? Fuck that. Get a magician. The last post is, I will never host a Hollywood award show unless I am asked.
Love, love.
I was gonna
Amen.
say
Took all
like
that
bro,
down.
but we love Ricky
Is this
Gervais.
his?
He took it all
so-
down,
took
but
it all
somebody
down.
saved it on Reddit.
Oh,
Love.
yeah, or
Yeah.
Twitter. Probably people have posted.
Hilarious. I mean,
that's-
accurate. I mean,
True, yeah.
and that's why I hate award shows because they're so phony
Yeah.
fake. And that's why I love award shows because they're so phony fake.
You know who looked horrible?
Who?
You're gonna make fun of me because I don't remember his name again.
Okay.
The Indiana Jones guy.
Harrison
Oh,
Ford. You're talking
Harrison
about
Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Looked
Oh yeah.
awful.
I didn't see that one shot of him. I
Horrible.
didn't
Get the
see.
hell off
Oh
my
my
plane.
god, he looked terrible.
Pretty
He's
good?
old.
Pretty good.
He's
Sad.
gonna be
Very
one of
good.
my predictions
Hold
for
on, hold
next
on.
year.
That belongs in a museum.
He's not that old.
Very good.
I don't even
you.
care.
Very
He's
good.
dying soon. I can
Um,
see it in his eyes. That's so
Okay,
One
so
thing that I will go. Sorry, go ahead. I'll let you do your thing.
oh no, go ahead.
Give me a
If it's
second.
on this topic, go.
I was just getting I was gonna
polite.
transition. So keep going.
Whoa.
Kara?
I was gonna say,
Final
so people
thoughts?
get like asked to do these things, right?
Okay.
You know how on
Nobody's
screen
asked me.
TV movie people get like, you know, they did an audition. They get asked to be in a Broadway show.
Sure.
How do you feel about
Oh great.
Lola
Don't know.
Tung
Okay.
from The Summer I Turned Pretty, the main girl,
Okay.
just got announced that she will be Eurydice in Hadestown.
Is she even a singer?
The only way that I knew she was is because a girl on TikTok posted a picture of a musical theater conservatory that was a part of, and in the group picture is her. So she does musical theater. But I saw that and I was like, okay,
It's stunt casting for
first,
sure, but
layman's
because it's
terms.
now
she's good.
It's her,
Layman's
it's
terms.
her and Jordan Fisher.
layman's terms.
Hades
what
Town
part
is
of
a
that-
musical.
Shut the hell up,
I
Annie.
literally-
just say I don't know what
You
I
are
don't know.
not a musical theater
layman's
person.
terms. Don't say layman's terms like
Bye,
we
theater
just,
person. Bye.
So okay,
She's
so
been
and
voted off the island.
she plays
Okay.
Belly.
yes, she
Yeah.
plays
Okay,
Belly.
she plays Belly, and she got
Layman's
asked,
terms?
She got asked to be in
In a
this
musical, the lead in a musical.
and people are mad about it.
Well, I don't know if people are mad about it.
You're
but
mad about it.
My
It's stunt
question
casting.
is,
She's mad
how
about
do
it.
you guys feel about
stunt
People
casting.
just getting.
like on Broadway?
Talking about like
There's been a lot of people like that though.
Sarah Bareilles. I mean, Sarah did that same thing. She was in music.
but
Oh, that's
she
she wrote it.
but she
She
wrote
wrote it.
Oh, she
Waitress.
wrote it. That's right.
She wrote
That's
all the
fine.
music.
I guess that's fine.
But
I
like
think that
Jesse
works.
Tyler Ferguson from
No.
Modern Family,
He started on Broadway.
I would say
I can't keep up with. I can't be a pop culture and
I
a
was
Broadway
gonna say
podcast.
I was
guys.
gonna say Hugh Jackman, but he was kind
He
of a Broadway guy
he
too.
also
huh?
started
I
on
think
Broadway.
it's
Huge Ackman.
It's tough because you're kind of stuck between two things. Like you want people to be able to cross over between industries, but at the same time, like these industries kind of are their own world. And I'd
So,
much
like-
rather see a rising star than a star from a different industry come in and just do a role.
I think
Yeah. Agree.
Jordan
I'm saying?
Fisher is a very big example of
Yeah,
it.
but he's getting roasted too. He's in like they're putting him in like
That's what I
everything.
mean. That's what I mean. He's
Who's Jordan
jumping
Fisher?
shows. Jordan Fisher was in.
Just don't
Good
say
Lord.
anything.
Good Lord.
Just listen.
I'm trying.
Who's Jordan Fisher?
Jordan Fisher was in Teen Beach Movie. He's one of the black kids.
Okay.
He was in Teen Beach Movie. He was in. What else was he in?
He was in that Grease live.
Oh yeah,
movie
Grease
musical.
Live. And then he jumped to Sweeney Todd. He was the I feel you, Joanna. That character. And now he is the main guy in Hadestown.
Okay.
And so he keeps
Just
jumping.
don't ask. Just don't ask. If you don't
I know,
know,
I-
But
Sounds
now
like I
the
was-
two people in Hadestown
Just
are
listen.
him, a movie star, and now Lola Tone.
Okay.
How do you feel
So
about
two
it,
movie
Cara? Because I
stars.
feel like you have some thoughts on it.
I have thoughts because I know that there's probably so many more talented, unrecognized
and
people
people
out there.
trained in that era. Yeah.
Where she just
Yeah.
got picked and from
but should anyone ever just do one thing? Like,
well,
can
here's the
music?
question,
Can
though.
musicians only do music?
Well, I wish I knew
Here's-
if she actually auditioned.
Would okay,
You know?
this is gonna sound bad, but like, are putting these two names on this poster gonna get more
Yes.
attention to this play? Or-
Hadestown has already had so much attention
saying,
and
like-
Tony Awards.
but in the Broadway
but,
world,
but in the Broadway world, it's like, oh, another rendition of Hadestown, another putting on of Hadestown.
Well,
Where,
yeah.
like, if you put these people in, maybe there will be people who aren't theater people who are coming to see her,
a
coming
little
to
bit
see
of
him.
crossover. That's it.
Maybe.
It
And
I
is.
think
It's classic
that's-
stunt casting.
Yeah.
I
but-
think the reality, and Kara's gonna hate me. I think that Broadway.
Perfect
It's-
singing.
awesome.
I think that Broadway.
Shock the world with what you're about to say.
I'm really so afraid of Kara. Just
Broadway's
reaching over
not
on
that
this couch.
interesting.
no, I
You're
know
like-
what she's gonna say.
I think that Broadway fans, like diehard fans, are becoming a very niche group compared to where it used to be. Like there were a ton of people following it, and I think that
I
they're
fully
trying to.
disagree with
I
that.
think they're trying to resurge of like we need to bring more people into live. I think COVID really took a hit on live performances, and like I think we're still trying to recover from live.
It's
I
fine.
think,
It's
I
fine
think
now.
ever since Hamilton,
Yeah.
everybody knows about Broadway. Now,
yeah.
right? Like
Yes.
like
And
Hamilton
Waitress.
made it like
and Waitress.
well, yeah, but
They
I
got
feel
that
like
pro
way
shot
more
in the
Hamilton
movies.
was like right. Am I
Yeah,
right?
well,
I kind of feel like
Broadway-
Waitress
Hamilton
wasn't
was
as
literally,
big.
like,
Hamilton was
almost 10 years ago.
Kind of pushed it.
I don't think Broadway will
That's what
ever
I-
die because it's such a big touristy thing in New York to do.
That is true.
That even if
Yeah.
you don't know about Broadway, it's like, I'm on Broadway. Let's go see a show. Like, people know.
Yeah, but I think that they're trying to make it beyond the actual, like that street. Like bring it
Yeah.
back to like this thing where it's like it's followed. It's like
Yes.
What
it's-
I've seen is that older shows that have stayed on Broadway, like Wicked, they do not stunt cast because people will go see it anyways.
Yeah.
Because it's,
Yeah, they don't
it's
need
Wicked.
to.
But that's the same as Hadestown. They are not casting well-known people in Hadestown
And all of a sudden
because
they're doing
people
these
know
people.
Hadestown
But
already.
Little Shop of Horrors has had like every stunt celebrity casting in the past.
Yeah.
It's
6
off Broadway.
months. Darren Criss and what's his name from not Glee, but Pitch Perfect,
Yes.
Yeah.
and Bebo.
Well,
and
and wasn't
I think
wasn't
Shmemo had a pass on
Brendan
it
Urie
too.
in
Brendan Urie's gonna be in it.
Yeah.
Brendan Urie's been in a bunch of things on Broadway. Kinky Boots.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Giving
think
you water,
it,
I'm giving you dirt.
oh jeez.
I chime in.
No.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That
No,
would
it's
be the
Darren.
best
Right now for
mix.
Little Shop, it's Darren, Chris, and what's her face from Across the Universe? Evan Rachel Wood.
Evan Rachel Wood.
John wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. You're right.
Yeah, I knew that one, so dead to me.
That is a cast that I want to
You
see
made
because
that
she
up.
is so good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like maybe like this particular casting isn't your favorite, but like you said, you want to see somebody who is a movie star be in a certain role. There's always a scenario where you'd like to see, you think
Yeah.
like, oh, it'd be cool to see Brendan Urie in
I
Little
mean,
Shop.
What's his name is the star of Sweeney Todd right now?
Josh Groban.
Josh Groban.
Yeah,
He deserves everything. I love
Really?
him. I love Josh Groban.
Okay,
He's just so good that he actually deserves it.
okay.
So I can stand
So good.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love
Just quietly listen and then pick up the context clues, and then maybe you'll realize you do know
I'm
the
trying
person.
to think of our listeners, okay?
Everybody knows Josh Groban.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
I do too.
Listen,
Butter
Why'd you
voice.
sing that?
we're rounding the corner on this episode, but
Wow.
I do want to talk about in the post show
yeah.
the Epstein list because it
Oh,
came out.
It's big.
And I
It's
obviously I
crazy.
think it's a great post show topic because I
Yeah.
think it is
Yeah.
a lot. But
It's definitely weeds. It's us getting in the weeds. And we want to thank a big special thank you to our Patreon supporters that every month keep the lights on over here. And
That's true.
you can join that Few the Proud, the Marines group
that's so
for just $4 a month. You set aside that, Starbucks coffee.
If you are a part of our Patreon, when we get invited to an award show, you're coming with us.
Woo!
That's
Right now, it's
crazy
a very doable
and
ask.
definitely something we can talk
We got
about.
10 people. We got 10 people for that table. There's 4
when
of
does
us
that
here.
when does that close? You think?
Well,
Probably
when
the next
when we hit how many
week.
people at a table
6?
we could have.
True.
Because the
6,
4 of us,
8.
not to mention like
I kind of think that the Golden Globes doesn't really do that. You don't get to it's not like
That's what
community
like 10 a
potluck.
table
You
or
don't like
That's what. Didn't we just look up the Met Gala? Or
yeah,
maybe
but
I looked
they
that
don't
up
just
in my own
give
life.
you a block of
The
tickets.
Met Gala, you buy a table.
Okay,
So you
the
spend
Met
like
Gal.
30 grand and you buy a table,
Yeah, it's
and
30
then
grand,
so like
that's right.
Charity thing.
and then and then Variety
Wouldn't
Fair
that be
will buy a
crazy?
table and then invite people to come, or like these
I'm
designers
sure
will buy
these
a table
companies
and then
buy
invite
all
these
the
people.
tables.
Yeah, no, totally.
So we're
And
gonna
then they
buy a
bring their
table at
people.
the Met Gala.
Don't you have to be?
2024.
Don't you have to be invited and then you have to pay?
They invite you to pay, just like
Yeah.
the Star Walk
It's a
of Fame.
star.
You have to pay for your star.
Yeah.
Oh,
Same-
speaking
it's
of
the
stars,
same thing. It's like $40,000.
shut that
Willem
Up.
Dafoe got his star.
Wow, Spider-Man.
good for him.
So Zac Efron just
It's a
paid
long applause.
$40,000.
I think
for
it's like
that
30
star.
or 40, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it's
But
Yeah.
he couldn't pay to have his freaking botched face job.
Oh my gosh.
Yep,
Fixed.
right.
And that's the end of our show. We'll see you next week.
End it. End
Would you
it.
do that?
Eddie,
Can I
come
just
on.
say my biggest gripe with this show? We'll talk about it in the post show. On the couch as always, Cara Tafolla, Annie the Skovmand. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
And we'll see you next week on What the Podcast.
You were so late.
Don't tell me how to live
Lame.
my life. I hate it here. I'm suing you.
I'm not gonna throw
Emotional distress.
the strength rock.
Throw
at you.
the string rock at me and see how much I sue you for.
Threw that whole whole ass orange at her.
Ass
What was
orange?
it?
Threw an orange at me
Yeah, it was
at the
orange,
25
right?
hour
That was
and then
hilarious.
told me dead ass to my eyes, I meant to hurt you.
That was crazy.
I meant it.